Marco, nice watch.
Thank you. The Racer's watch.
Yes.
I'm actually very proud of that.
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
because I have never been, a luxury watch guy, but I have always been a watch guy.
Okay, you're one of those.
What does that mean?
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know.
But
So yeah, I mean, listen, it's definitely beautiful, and for us as a community, we're proud of Miningrace. We want to wear it as much as we can.
yeah,
And it triggers these topics, right? They're like, oh, watch. Oh, what does it say? What is Miningrace?
yeah,
And
sure.
then, it becomes a centerpiece, literally.
And let me tell you something about watches, right? They're coming from a point where I didn't have a lot of money, right? But always I felt like there needs to be a watch on my wrist. I can even remember my first watch, and it's gonna be for the original Bitcoiner. Bitcoiner is gonna be exciting. It was the original Casio, the black one with the digital screen. I got it from my father.
Yeah.
So that was the first watch I was wearing. And then at some point, he got me like one with a leather strap. And, when I became 18, I got into this stainless steel stuff. And then, I saw watches that I liked, but I never was okay with spending, more than $200, maybe $300 for a watch.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was researching what does it mean if I go up from $100 to $500 for a watch. There's quality improvements, but there's a sweet spot where like it's $1,500 or so. The quality does not get better.
No, and listen, the partners who built that, of course, Coin Vigilante, they're huge. They've been going to all the Bitcoin conferences around the world, and displaying that, and they do crypto-related. Watch. So Bitcoin, nothing else, no other coin. I don't think they have any other.
I think it's the only real Bitcoin watch company in the world.
Yeah.
And they're very dedicated to their work.
100%.
I saw it on their website. They built these watches where they imprint, the block height of the moment where the watch is built and stuff.
Yeah.
And also, what is very important for me, when I bought watches, I only buy watches that have sapphire glass. Trust me, I didn't need to learn that for the podcast recording. It was always a feature I was looking at and watch the sapphire glass because it doesn't scratch.
Yeah.
And the first thing when the Miningrace watch came out, I was looking at, is it sapphire glass?
Yeah.
And of course, the guys at Miningrace.
We think alike, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I was the first person to buy that in the app.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, listen, this is exciting, of course. And, we're at the showroom anyways. We're upstairs. Downstairs, we've got all that stuff, T-shirts, anything, pro Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah. Fix the money, fix the world.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them. That's my uniform now. I've got black, white. But, I mean, listen, this is all positive, fun stuff. But as we speak, we see that Bitcoin is at $67,000. So in today's news, basically, Bitcoin is down. Why are people shocked?
So you're telling me I get a discount?
You get a discount. People hate discount.
Oh, yeah, I see that all the time.
So
no, but it's the old story.
Yeah.
It's the very old story. People tend to buy at the highest price and sell when they're in minus. Like, not all of them, of course, but it's a easy psychological thing. You're not fully trust this thing because you don't know enough about this thing.
And you have no patience, maybe, as well.
Then you see everyone's starting to talk because the price is rising. Is that enough? The price is rising more. Okay, it is interesting. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
And then we're having a correction, which is very natural for any asset in the world. And then, oh my God, it's going down. I better sell.
That's viral.
I better sell before I lose everything.
Yeah.
That is the thoughts I have seen many, many times with people that have not enough information about the Bitcoin.
Yes, I mean, listen, we'll get into why and when and who. Listen, none of that is financial advice, right? So this is, again, mostly subjective, but it comes from truth, right? Of events that has happened in the last 10 years. That causes these things, and that's why we have the cycles, right? The ups and downs. So I think something that me and you share similarity is we love the downs because I love opportunity. I don't know. Do you like opportunity?
I love it.
Some people hate opportunity. So, it's like, no opportunity. So when the door opens and presents itself, please enter. Listen, I had to list down. It's not a long list, but all the narratives to fool people into selling Bitcoin, mostly through fear.
Okay, wait. So the moments where stories of the world affected people negatively about their opinion about Bitcoin. Yeah, okay, I see that. Because we have that all the time again and again in different phases.
Exactly.
Just like we're seeing it now.
Yeah, we saw it now. Like for me, you've been around, I've been around, so I've seen it 4 times, I would say.
Four big times.
4 big times where the price of Bitcoin drops to 80%.
Yeah,
or such.
The nice thing in that is the time is on our side.
100%. Yes.
But let's talk about some time.
Yeah, we'll talk about the narratives, and we'll shoot something on the screen of, the 4 times it's happened and what was the drop like and such. That picture I showed you this morning.
Yeah.
So we can maybe share that. I found it interesting. So the narratives now. So we go back to 2013, right? The biggest issue was regulation. Nobody knows, is Bitcoin regulated? Is it legal? It's not. So there's always a big question mark. So it was only for the risk takers, the ones who are like, I don't care, I'll buy Bitcoin or I'll mine Bitcoin. But the question was, it's not regulated. It's not a regulated run, So that was the first fear factor. Along the same year was the Mt. Gox. Yeah, shut down and hack.
Yeah.
Right?
So that was a crypto exchange.
Yes, it was, you could say, one of the first, or the first biggest exchange at that time, right?
So people were transferring funds on the exchange, having it on the exchange, and the exchange shutting down, closing the access to their funds.
Exactly, 2013. Until today, I keep saying it in my books that it's a centralized exchange, right? So the problem was centralization. It wasn't the product nor the technology. It was, so that's why never leave your money on exchanges.
Yeah.
What are exchanges? It's a website. Tomorrow the guy shuts down the website. Thank you, bye. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I heard a sentence in combination with these stories and these events in the history of Bitcoin. Sometimes I hear from people, oh, okay, now I'm happy that we're safely earning Bitcoin again. We're talking about Miningrace then, because we already lost a lot of money with Bitcoin. And then I come to a moment where I say, wait, how did you lose money with Bitcoin?
Yeah.
You didn't lose money with Bitcoin. You lost money with some strange website, but not with Bitcoin.
No, Bitcoin. It wasn't Bitcoin's fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so exactly. So centralization again. 2013 regulation Mt. Gox. Come to 2015. They said mining is now centralized. So what it means, I think they were referring to, and I remember this, China, saying China is now over 51% of the mining power of the world.
I don't know. Was it the case in 2015?
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of mention of China. I'll come to it later. But at that time, they owned, the biggest mining power of the world. And, during these podcasts, you'll get to know why it's bad to be so powerful in mining. If you are 60% or over 51% of the mining power of the world, you could create chaos. That means if you want to send Bitcoin, well, my charge is $100. The miner could say, I will approve and verify this transaction if you pay $100 in fees, transaction fees. But nobody does it because there's no logic of investing so much and becoming powerful to kill Bitcoin. You've already spent billions and convinced people to use it as transactions, hence why they have a lot of machines and power dedicated just to kill Bitcoin.
That's a logic paradox.
Yes, exactly. So there's no logic to it, but they're saying mining centralization. Fear, people are selling Bitcoin.
Yeah, and that it's again, it's a point of missing education, where they think that somebody who has, more power over mining, or even some people think people who have a lot of Bitcoin can somehow rule over the system.
Yeah.
Which is not the case.
It's not the case. And by the way, there's no numbers and stats of those days. Now we have a lot of technology we can track power, Back in the day, it was mostly self-reporting and, again, feelings. I feel that China had, because they produce, 80% of the machines. So they're like, okay, logically, they could keep these machines. Well, no, they need to finance themselves. So they sell you their machines so they can build better ones and continue that cycle, right?
Sure.
So yes, understand the centralization point of business and making money, but nobody's in it for charity. You know what I mean, right?
Of course.
So during that time as well, 2015, we had the Silk Road issue.
Oh.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Can I start with this one really quick and I'll
Please.
hear your thoughts about it?
Yeah, please.
So they're like, generally, to summarize what the Silk Road is, you can buy stuff from anywhere in the world for cheap, or they might not sell it in your country, but you can order it. Obviously, they couldn't open bank accounts, so they used crypto as transaction. Now, this is another narrative that JP Morgan kept saying, that Bitcoin is used for drug dealers. My question to him, if I saw him, what were they using before Bitcoin?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Or what are they called?
No, they just didn't do it. There was no drug market before Bitcoin. Don't you know?
No, it's new. So Satoshi, you started something.
No. And at the same time, I think even the usage. This narrative was one of the most illogical, but I think just the smallest percentage, even of Bitcoin, was even ever used for that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I fact checked everything, so I never talk about feelings bias. You know me.
Yeah.
So show me the code, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's there in black and white. They ran a 5-year campaign. It's for drugs. It's for weapons. It's for whatever. I don't want to use the T word, isms, and whatever.
Yeah.
So I was just surprised that it just started with Bitcoin. Before that, the dollar is amazing. Right? So this is 2015. So that's when I kind of joined. So this news was maybe a year old at that time. So when I researched, I remember looking at this stuff. Then the 2018 one is when I had my own business in crypto, as in, you have a business, let me help you market it. Business development, I'll connect you to exchanges with coders to build your infrastructure. So that was my background. And during the ICO, boom, initial coin offering, right? I love the concept, by the way, but did it work? Not really.
It was an exciting moment in time of crypto.
It was. So imagine you had an idea, I want to, do resale tokenization. Now real estate tokenization is kind of picking up. But at that time, well, I need fund. All right. Okay, so I have this business. I need fund to start it. What do? I list my coin as like, hey, buy it early, you get 50% discount. Let's say the token or the coin is 1 cent or $1. Let's stick to $1. I'll sell it to you for 50 cents because you believed in my project, and so it's cheaper. But once I launch the project and my coin is launched on the exchanges, it becomes public. I'm gonna launch at $1.
Yeah.
So that's when enter the scammers type of in a way.
I think additionally to that, we need to explain for the people that this is a way of tokens that get created. A lot of the times there is a new token, like a cryptocurrency that is being created, and they just decide in the first moment of it, there's gonna be 1 billion of that. And 40% of that the company is going to keep. 30% we're going to sell as the ICO, with a discount, and then we're going to push something in the phase 2 selling or something.
And some goes to marketing and
exactly, the tokenomics. But I feel like we need to add to that and really clearly explain that Bitcoin never had that.
No issue.
There is no ICO for Bitcoin ever happening. There was no way of getting more Bitcoin than mining it with the blockchain and the process that was ever created in the code since the beginning.
100%.
Very big thing.
And I use it, and I'll keep using it probably in the next episodes of the podcast, is the beauty of Bitcoin doesn't have a CEO as well. We are the CEO. I am Satoshi. He is Satoshi. We are Bitcoin.
We are CEO. Satoshi. It's a nice sentence.
Yeah. We are all Satoshi. I always say it's in my book. You guys do it. Anyways, so
what is the book called, please?
So I have a bunch of them now. But my first one is Crypto and Chill, which is general about crypto. I keep it at a beginner's level. I don't go too deep because it gets boring. So I made it a fun book, 21 chapters, because there's only 21 million Satoshis.
Nice one.
Yep, and literally a few pages about everything you need to know. You know, so a guide to to crypto. My second book is more Bitcoin related.
Yeah, and that was really amazing in the Miningrace community.
Yeah.
I feel like now that you even had to translate it into different languages.
Yeah, I translate in German as well.
And a lot of people read that and they love it. I feel like, this Bitcoin We Told You So, this book was really, really an amazing
Shout out
thing
to
for
Sylvia. Sylvia had to narrate. She narrated from her own choice. And we got the full book in audio in German and in English. Thank you to Sylvia for doing it.
Now you can listen to it in your car.
Exactly. I mean, that's the beauty of the community mining. Everybody helps each other. So it's like, let's do an audio. Let's do an audio. Let's go. That's how we stay strong and relevant, especially Miningrace, because it's the only decentralized way of mining Bitcoin. Nothing. If there's something similar, let me know, guys. I haven't seen one yet, but mostly centralized, right?
But back from audio to ICO.
They all sound the same. ICOs. So ICO, listen, I would say 10% success stories, coins that made it and they still exist. Ethereum was an ICO. So the new Ethereum, not the Ethereum Classic.
Ethereum Classic, yeah. So that's a deeper topic.
Yeah. So in a way, you can say it's an ICO. I would say 10% success rate, 90 failed, or not too much scams, but they existed, right?
At the same time, that's a total different market, but it also influenced Bitcoin because people don't know the difference from all of these.
Yeah. And the second thing, that happened that year, 2018, was SEC regulation. They're like, this is securities. It's not securities. How do we prove it? Everything's proven, honestly, in 10 minutes because there's a blockchain and you can see transaction happening. Well, that's information, sir. I mean, what else do you? Why is it dragging for a year for SECs? That means there's a bigger picture and a narrative, right? So that also created fear. SEC doesn't approve it. I'm not entering into Bitcoin. Right, fine, fair enough. But you're missing out, dude.
All the talks we had.
Yeah, and then we have the I call it every 5 years we have it. The China FUD, they call it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Fear, uncertainty. So that. China's banning crypto, but they're not banning, and then they're banning mining, so they need to mine somewhere in Europe or in Russia, and so there was all that fear, like China is banning it. They never said we're banning it forever. We're like, listen, we're putting things on hold. We need to have an infrastructure.
Yeah.
We realize it's growing so big, so we just need to pause the situation to understand what's happening, the demand, the supply. Do we need to build more mining machines? Do we need exchanges?
Even the fact that they were doing it is more like an approval of Bitcoin.
Approval and because a positive move,
they're approving that, okay, this is a big thing that's happening and we need time to regulate it.
Yes, it's all about regulation, 100%, and coming up with laws, and a system that everybody follows. Nobody's better than nobody, and that's a concept of China, right? It's like we build together, but we need to be patient and create. Their exports are the highest in the world. So let's let them get the mining side correct as well. So they've done something good. Now they're going to apply it on the digital rather than the physical world, So that scared a lot of people. Again, Bitcoin drops another 40,000, whatever it is. And then it goes up, it goes up, it goes up. And then we have 2022, 2 years after COVID. So we had... Thank God I wasn't involved. I was so happy. At that time, I felt I'm a bit smart. I was like, listen,
I was not in there.
You're not there as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. The FTX collapsed, right? You could say the biggest scam in crypto history or
it's a
in financial history. Something.
It's a crazy story.
It's a crazy story. It's like how much people don't understand. We do mistakes, but see, there's no book or guide in crypto. Like you can read as much as you want, but then if you do these mistakes, don't blame it on the crypto itself. Blame it on you, right? So the guy promised a lot, took a lot of money, and spent it on we don't want to talk about. And then the money's gone, right? The website shuts down. They're like, thank you, goodbye. And this is what pretty much happened, right? So
but at the same time, like you made a good point. Like blame it on the guy, don't blame it on Bitcoin. And in the real world, nobody would do that. They would like okay. I have a cotton business. I make scarves or whatever. Now I pay a guy to put it in his truck and drive it to the other country. he's driving the truck into the ocean or something.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame the scarves, the cotton. That is still the good product.
Yes.
And nobody would do that ever.
Yeah.
In real life with the products they know.
Yeah.
But still, these kind of stories, even if someone else drove the truck into the ocean, they still blame the content. They still, get the fear about Bitcoin.
100%.
But I feel like it's one thing has not changed. Like there's waves of fears coming up every cycle, every couple of years.
Yeah.
I think one thing changes. The amount of people who see above that fear is increasing. And I think right now, even 100%. The time we're in is the most increasing
I feel it,
phase that we ever had.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing. So, I'll come back to why these fears are created, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to get into conspiracies. I said, forget feelings, but there's a reality to the collapse of FTX. It's maybe, I mean, in the bigger picture, it will tell you, look, the banks won. You can trust the money with the banks. You gave it to FTX, crypto company, and look what they did, right? So, So this is obviously manipulation and agenda. I'll say it how it is. Then during that time, the NFTs came out.
Oh, wow.
Everybody remembers the monkey NFTs.
Yeah, right? I don't remember the name, but we remember the picture.
Apes, right? Something bored apes. Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
That
was at the same time being someone that is in the market and is able to value digital things at something. Not everybody is able to value digital things, because there's still a lot of people out there who say I cannot touch it. There's no value to it. But still, as somebody who values digital things, I could not really get into this NFT picture thing.
Dude, I tried. Like I had a friend who was so obsessed. He's like, get this one's cheap, it'll go up. I was like, so I used to pretend, I bought it. I was like, leave me alone. I still remember it.
I think it was like the blockchain version of collecting Pokemon cards.
Yeah, but the saturation that happened, right? So
yeah,
I had friends who were like, dude, I made this new NFT set. It's online. Buy and support me. I go and I see you have over 120,000 in within 2 months collections of different things, right? So a picture of a monkey went for what, 230 million?
Yeah.
Why? Can you please explain me?
I don't know.
A picture of a monkey.
But it did.
Yeah, like a cartoon monkey, not even a real one.
I would be so interested in interviewing the guy who sold it at the highest price.
Yeah, what were you thinking? But listen, we all do mistakes. It's not that. But then I believe a lot of money came out from Bitcoin and solid projects, right? There are blockchain projects that exist solid, right? So maybe the top 10. The money, there's an outflow from Bitcoin to monkey pictures. Do you understand what's happening?
It was happening. Yeah.
All right. And then it collapsed because there was so much saturation, options, it didn't take off. But this doesn't take out from the concept of NFTs. I love the concept.
The technology is great.
The technology and the concept. Imagine having a tokenized real estate, a real estate that has 500 square foot. Each square foot is one NFT. Well, I can afford to buy 3 square foots. I have 3 NFTs that represent these square foot. Now I need money. The real estate goes up, right? Let's say the year after 5%. Well, in Dubai, it's going higher, but just, average global increase. So I need money. I'm going to sell 1 NFT. Yeah. You want to take part of it? Have the balcony. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, but I love that.
Yeah, and it represents a real asset.
Yeah.
That exists.
I love the concept of digital ownership. Having NFTs that represents. It can even be purely digital. Mm-hmm. You can like it or not. It doesn't matter. Computer gaming and digital worlds exist. Yeah. And even in these spaces, we had moments where like people invest time and their money into some games, some online games.
100%.
And even then, companies are just pulling the plug, and after 2 or 3 years, they're gonna just shut off that game. And it's very sad for people who invested their time and money into this one.
And just disappears.
So they're going to start the next one, and they force you to buy the next one and build something, some progress in the next game.
Yeah.
And even this industry is adapting to this concept,
Yeah.
making everything you own in there an NFT. So still, if even this game is over, you still own the NFTs
100%.
that can be reusable in another game.
Yeah.
That is something that maybe speaks to people in a different level that have nothing to do with real estate, but still understand the concept of a digital ownership.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, like NFTs, we all thought is the future because you can combine it, like you said, with gaming, right? So gaming is like when you buy your character, you own this character. He's yours. You can do whatever you want. And whenever you get tired of the game, you can always sell that because there's a limited supply of characters, right? And during that time, remember the metaverse. I feel metaverse wasn't a failure to that extent because I don't think people were ready in terms of technology, processor.
Too early.
Because I was on the metaverse, Decentraland, Mana,
exactly.
Remember all of that?
It was too early.
Yeah. So I was on Decentraland and I used to go watch events. I remember there was a Snoop concert. Like you go to the concert and you have the characters and they're all jumping, listening to music, and then you have a shopping mall where you can go to a shop and there's limited types of Reebok. You'll go, there's 3 shoes you can order only through there. So when you own the NFT, you can request for the item to be shipped to you, and then the NFT burns because you can't sell the NFT
of course,
again.
Yes.
So there's all that beautiful technology. But what I remembered, I had a really good gaming laptop. You've seen it. It couldn't even handle the frame rate and the speed of that metaverse. They built it too big, too fast, and I feel the world wasn't ready yet for it.
And I think it's not even not ready now.
Yeah.
Because a gaming industry, these people are very close to digital things,
Yeah.
but still they are not educated enough about crypto. I remember there was a huge guy. He was he was a big name in gaming. So every gamer was a fan of him. And he was building a game including NFTs. Yeah. And everybody was disliking that. They even talked their idol down because he was now touching NFTs. Yeah. So that's very interesting to see. Even the people who are very close to this digital things, they are not protected from these kind of fears we're talking about and this kind of not understanding.
Exactly. Quick fact about gaming. I think it's 2 different generations. So the current generation, they're like, the trust level with crypto and NFTs.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin started, from day one, was adopted by gamers. So let's say in the game I have a weapon, which is so special and rare. The economy of the game, the in-game economy, you could say, people used to trade these characters or weapons through
market.
Bitcoin, right?
So it's a very big market.
Yeah. So the first demand was through gaming. Imagine. Bitcoin, now in Dubai, you can buy an apartment with Bitcoin. But back in the day,
digital things,
back in the day, online, you're playing all these games, and then you go to the characters like, hey, I like your weapon. Would you sell it to me? It's like, yeah, this is my wallet address. And, it was done that way. Obviously.
Yeah, but to clarify, since we talked about, Bitcoin being used back in the past for weapons, we're not talking about real weapons. We're talking about video games and items in the video games, which is all fun and nothing serious.
Yeah, obviously.
So just to clarify that.
Yeah, exactly. And then, listen, a beautiful journey from, 2023 till, let's say, November, Bitcoin reaches all-time high, right? Excitement. Yeah. And then the new stuff is coming out. So again, we have stories, but fear, because now you have the new retail market entered. They haven't experienced fear. What they've experienced is, I got in 2 years ago at 26K. That's when, Miningrace started at 26K price of Bitcoin. And reached 126K, that journey. So a lot of people experience that. They're like, the only way is up, I'm going to go to $1 billion, right?
Yeah.
And maybe not everybody has time to research all these fear things,
Yeah.
So for us, I'm waiting. When is the day they're going to start scaring the people? And now the fear started. It started early this year with quantum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Quantum computing, and I feel like
Will kill Bitcoin.
I never had these type of topics in a circle of IT guys.
Yeah.
They know it's a very far away idea.
Yeah.
But you hear this a lot from people who are not in IT.
Yeah.
You hear it from an auto mechanic. I value an auto mechanic a lot, but not so much on his opinion about quantum computing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
but these are the people who come to me and ask about. Yeah, but they don't ask what is the fear with quantum computing. They say no, the blockchain will be cracked by quantum computing. They say something like this.
Yeah, along the lines with it.
Yeah, and it's very crazy to hear from me sometimes. But just before we talk about it, to clarify, that is a topic that if it's gonna be interesting at all, it's still very far away.
It's very far away. Second of all, only a few people in the world can own it. Big names, tech companies.
Yeah.
So we're literally a handful of people. Because obviously it could be a weapon for anything. Any destruction, you can use it for something good or bad. Anything in life, right?
Yeah.
So second of all, if I had a chance for quantum computing, I have it in my bedroom, all right? Why the hell would I destroy Bitcoin? I can do much more with it financially. I'll just go to the banks, get the cash straight, thank you, bye, or shut all banks or whatever. The last thing they want to do, because it auto balances. We talked about it earlier. I think this morning we talked about, Bitcoin self-adjusts. I mean, that's an easier terminology to use. Self-adjusts in maximum of 2 weeks. To self-adjust means mining difficulty will increase eventually.
If there's gonna be quantum computing,
if there is, So the worst case is we're gonna suffer 2 weeks, and then we adjust. So, Bitcoin self-adjusts, right? There's hash rate, all of this. That's a beauty of it's so ahead in advance. Bitcoin, that's unhackable on this, on that, and
they came with a different point in there as well. That's the topic about Bitcoin mining. But they always spoke about they're gonna brute force your seed phrase. So the idea is, just to explain for everybody out there, that there is a guessing process. Try to guess a seed phrase. Like, try to guess the correct 12 or 24 words
of your wallet
that opens a wallet for you that has Bitcoin in it. You can try manually, maybe just choose some words and try. But you can make a computer try this as well, and the computer is going to be faster at guessing, different combinations, of course.
Like Apple house car or car house. It will try
and a
12 words up to 24 words.
And the computer can guess a lot of these combinations in a second. And the quantum computer can even guess more of these in just a shorter time, so it's a lot faster at guessing. But then I did the math.
Okay, let's hear it.
So there is, over duodecillion different combinations of seed phrases. And that is a number, even if you take one duodecillion seed phrase, but there's a lot more. I think we're talking about like 20 duodecillion or something. But if you only take this and put the computing power of a quantum computer into guessing that, we're still talking about hundreds of years, of the time to need to guess a correct seed phrase.
But there's other levels of security. Even, with that, you can do multi-sig, means you need two signatures. So that means you need kind of two paraphrases. So you need to calculate for another God knows how many years. For the second portion.
It's just, and then it needs to be the right one. So
technology is moving, but security is moving along, and it's the most secure asset, I would say, right?
And even the smartest, because I feel like, Bitcoin has not been created by a single entity, by a company that thinks they have the right thing to secure something. It has been created, and also managed and handled by the people, and there's a swarm intelligence going on.
Exactly.
So
and that's why we have these Bitcoin conferences. A lot of people, go to the fun part, but there's a lot of talks and people from AI background and finding solutions. So these are the interesting things that happen. When you go to Vegas, to Hong Kong, and the one we had in Abu Dhabi, where Miningrace was one of the main sponsors. And literally a few team members and co-founders were on stage and explaining what we do. But interesting to meet these people when you talk, in the events, especially at night with them, and say, well, what about quantum? What about this? And then they hear, they give you a quick answer that you kind of feel stupid. You're like, I didn't think of it that way. It's one of those.
You can't feel stupid.
Yeah, because you're surrounded with IT guys, and you kind of have to act smart as well. I mean, so we have the quantum stuff, and
I feel like, just to bring that to an easy sentence, I think sitting in a coffee shop and entering your seed phrase on your own laptop, just to open your wallet or something, this is more dangerous than quantum computing to your wallet.
I swear to God, you said it beautifully. Yeah, there's cameras everywhere. They're looking at your paraphrases. Do it in a private place. In your home.
Before we think about quantum computing, let's think about the security of coffee shops.
Exactly. Yeah. When people go like, "What about quantum?" I was like, "Listen, you just want Bitcoin to fail because you didn't get in early. It's fine, just say that." But they just want to.
But maybe they haven't analyzed this feeling for themselves in them yet. But it's the truth.
It's fine. Everybody has an approach to it, of course.
True. And right now, which brings us to the current situation, beautiful path. By the way,
I mean, we had to go through history. No, but I mean, generally now when you open the news, it's fear after fear, stories, old emails, which it has nothing to do with what Bitcoin is.
Yeah.
So why is this narrative playing out? So I feel this year, for the first time, we saw manipulation happening. Unfortunately, from the pro Bitcoiners, I would say. They were always anti-Bitcoin. They tried to kill it. Listen, for years, from 2010, I'd say, they've been trying to kill it till 2013. They're like, how much more money? How many times do I have to go on CNBC and tell people not to buy Bitcoin? It's not working. It was 1 cent, 2 cents, and it became 126. Nothing like this happened ever in the world. How do we kill this? We tried the fear thing, right? Always the news and this. Another fear tactic that works, surprisingly. You know what we missed? Every year there's an India one. Have you heard about the India one? India bans cryptocurrency. It's like, we know. It's like me saying now Dubai bans drugs. It's like, we know. Okay. I mean, obviously. So it started from 2017, end of 2017. I remember highlights. India bans cryptocurrencies. Crash! The market crash. They're like, no.
Why? Like, because they have a lot of people there? Or?
No, just
why is that a heavy news? I don't get it.
They're in the Big Ten, right? I mean, in terms of population, retail market is there. So retail always supported Bitcoin. But then, it's banned. Fine, okay. I mean, listen, it's banned. But the year after, when the market goes up, the same news, the same thing just recirculates again. India bans. Like, we know. You told us last year.
Exactly.
Like, we understand. And this is, by the way, last 6 years. 7 years, I would say. Every year we hear it. So I have a friend who's funny. He always sends me these things like, by the way, don't forget, India bans cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah, don't forget that.
Yeah. And you'll see it January 15th or whatever. New one from a big,
But there has been a very interesting research I found out about this year.
Yeah.
They have some numbers that show that the areas and countries where Bitcoin have been banned in some way,
but still,
they have been the countries with the highest adoption rate.
Yes,
because
unbanked.
That is basically what Bitcoin is.
Yeah.
It gives you the power to use it, whether someone allows it to you or not.
Because he has no other solution. India has, I'm not going to throw a number, but a big percent of unbanked people. So it's banking the unbanked. It gave a solution that people from this farm, and going back to the barter deal, listen, I will buy corn from your farm and I'll give you flour and rice in return. So this became now, I need corn, here's Bitcoin, I'll send it to you, buy. Exactly. It's like I don't have to barter that way, with commodities,
And you should see the stories. There's like old women in the mountains baking bread, getting paid by Bitcoin. That is not a made up story.
QR code.
Really things that are happening.
Just a QR code and people pay them by.
I was surprised by this story. There's there's a story about the bread baking women. They're living in top of the mountains. Somewhere where they have mules and horses bringing the stuff, but Bitcoin payments. Very crazy. Yeah.
And they don't need to think about the technology, everything. They're getting paid and they're happy, and that's it.
And that's a big point about it as well. You don't have to understand
it becomes the economy within that mountain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the economy. Now I need milk. I've sold the bread or whatever, the pizza, whatever. Now I need milk. I'll go pay the milk guy with Bitcoin. Then it becomes like that. I mean, that's why what we had El Salvador, a whole nation made it their main currency. They couldn't trust the dollar anymore. They couldn't trust anything else. And now they're kind of back. El Salvador is back. It's one of the safe. It's becoming the most safest country in the world, right? Because it was full of, there's a lot of gangs, and the issue, the biggest prison now.
Yeah, I know.
Salvador. And now you see their economy thriving. Tourism started. All of that started. It's who saved them? Bitcoin. Sorry, the dollar is what's the value? What is the dollar? What does it equal to?
Yeah.
It's sure.
That's the interesting things that are happening in the world. And I think Bitcoin, goes everywhere where it is a solution for something.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin can be a solution for so many different problems.
Yeah.
And I have in my Tuesday talks that I do with people in Germany, I have this video of a map where you can see all the shops that are accepting Bitcoin in South Africa.
Okay.
And that's a lot of orange dots on the map, and it's becoming more and more every year. And even companies where you don't hear a big press release about or something, but people are paying for gas at famous gas station brands.
It's always around
with Bitcoin. But these gas stations are not running around at the same time in New York and forcing you to pay with Bitcoin. No, they're offering it there because people want to pay with Bitcoin there.
Exactly. Don't make them hate Bitcoin. You're forced to pay by Bitcoin. That's not the approach. We have that approach. You're forced to pay by fiat. We want to remove that and give you options. And the dream is gradually move to that digital system that is controlled to 21 million. Listen, we talked a lot about it, but I just want to throw this quick story that I also mentioned in the book about Bitcoin adoption. It's coming, whether you like it or not. I'm not going to argue. It's there. It's happening. It's all around us. But just we need to open our eyes and see it. Like New Zealand is, I believe, one of the first countries. I might get the year wrong, 2017 or 18, where they made it legal. If I own a business, let's say a barbershop, I can pay my employees in Bitcoin.
Oh yeah.
One of the first country, to listen. If he wants to charge Bitcoin, it's an option, but a lot of people say, listen, give me 50% fiat and I'll have the rest in Bitcoin. And there's many of these success stories.
Man, that's smart.
You're in the, the Bitcoin ecosystem of New Zealand. It exists. So this is one of those, adoption. When a country tells you that's my currency, not the dollar, not the yen or whatever. When a country says, it's legal to pay your employees in Bitcoin if they choose so. And a lot of people did because, they're like a bit less tax. Because it's less taxing for me to send you the Bitcoin. I don't need an accountant, so all of this is cost of a country you remove. I don't need a bank and central bank salaries. I don't need to print money and the ink and the cost. I don't need energy to transfer ATM. So all of this reduces tax. That's why you're taxed, because there's a lot of other things that it needs to support. A bank is always supported by the country, and the country supports a bank. So you eliminate that, and you can untax. You don't need the tax in a way.
I think there was a very interesting presentation by our founder and CEO Rami Al-Saridi, and he showed us like the cost of the finance system that is running every day, how many employees and how many costs there is in transactions, because these transactions need to pay all the employees of the financial industry, and I was shocked by that. So that is something that's happening as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think we can move on from this. We've convinced you enough or not? But
you like Bitcoin?
Do you like Bitcoin now?
No, but I feel to round it up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things happening in terms of Bitcoin adoption in the world that people just don't see. That doesn't mean it's not happening. It's happening a lot, and I even think it's happening fast.
Yeah. What is that website you were talking about? That about the news?
Oh man, yeah. That brings us back to the current Bitcoin price.
Yeah.
Because what you hear when Bitcoin goes from 125K back to 65K.
Whatever, 40K. Why not? I want it cheaper. Like I'm praying for it to drop.
I like a discount.
Do you like it? I don't know. Some people want it up. I prefer it at 40. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to get into mining at 40 because when it goes up, whatever I've mined is, doubles in value, triples. Why not? So.
I'm loving that thought as well.
Exactly. Accumulation.
But when this happens, a lot of, I call it outside voices, are calling Bitcoin dead. They're saying Bitcoin is dead. And there's a website called Bitcoin is Dead or Bitcoin Deaths. You should put it into Google, Bitcoin is dead. And there's a website that is showing how much times Bitcoin has already died.
Yeah.
So they are collecting, all the news, like
the scary news.
not from everyone who posts on Facebook, like bigger news that were released on, some finance guy on CNBC or something,
all of them, yeah.
just some article.
Yeah.
Where they said Bitcoin is now going to zero or Bitcoin is dead. And they collected these articles. And so Bitcoin has officially been called dead, like not by a single guy, but really the moments where like a big voice were calling Bitcoin dead.
Yeah.
That has happened over 460 times.
Imagine, yeah.
So
and every time they say it's dead, it goes up eventually, right? Do you have a chart?
Somehow,
yeah.
And there's even a counter, which is very interesting. It says, if you put $100 into Bitcoin every time it was dead, you now have, and they show you the amount, which is right now, even with this price right now, it is something like 60-something million dollars.
Yeah.
Right? So that buying Bitcoin when it's dead would have been a good saving plan, I guess.
Well, I think I'm gonna look at this website every day. Whenever I hear bad news, and I'll do the opposite.
I'm gonna mine some.
Yeah. I mean, but then you ask why? Why do they say this? Listen, all of them say it, and they always bring names. They'll say, this famous person has sold his Bitcoin. He was a Bitcoin believer, and he sold it. First of all, you need to fact check. Nobody checks. They're like, they just believe, look, he sold. And then you do a research, and then, or he comes the second day, I haven't sold. Who told you I've sold?
Yeah.
But it goes viral. That's a problem. Social media is a double-edged sword, right? You can read the good news and the bad news. And sometimes the bad news it's fake, right?
Yeah.
So, like, this is how I want to end it. And then we'll quickly talk about cores. But before that is these institutions, we want them to join. Fine, jump on board. Yeah. But they're not going to buy Bitcoin at 126. I'm sorry.
No.
They're not. Okay, 126,000. And they're not.
And money has been their business for so long.
Yeah.
They know how things are running.
Exactly. So we call it, they attack the paper hands. The paper hands are the weak ones who can't hold. They get paper hands. Yeah. And you have diamond hands, right? So strong. Diamond hands, we don't sell. So they scare you, they shake you, so you drop the Bitcoins, and then they take it for cheap. I mean, so this story plays in history and everything, but now in the Bitcoin narrative, you can just search how many times it's happened. And they always win, right? So sadly, I don't want it to go to, I want institutions to have it, but not the majority. Let's not do this mistake, keep it on retail, keep it for you.
And we have that happening a lot of times. Let me just give that to you. It's just very interesting. Really back in the day when we're talking about 2012, because you were beginning your data there, we had a Bitcoin high of $7.
Wow, 7.
Yeah, and we had a low of $4. Okay, it dropped into half something. Let's go into future a little bit. So we had a high in 2016 of $1,160.
Okay.
And Bitcoin dropped back to $150. Wow. So that is a drop of 87, and that was combined with the China ban. Yeah. So that is a drop of 87%.
Okay. Yeah.
So you would call everything that does this dead.
Yeah.
But would you call something that does this all of the time and recovers with a new all-time high?
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Not most of the time, every time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I told this morning, yesterday and today, I've been getting memes sent to me, and and Bitcoin price, and they're sending me memes. And they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm not okay." They're like, "Why?" I was like, "Dude, it needs to drop even more." I'm not crazy. I'm not buying. I want it cheaper.
They were not expecting.
They're like, it's like I get butterflies, excitement because I have a new opportunity. Because when it was 125, I was like, it's difficult. I always dollars, cost average. So I do buy, but I was like, no, I will just wait for it to drop.
Yeah.
And when it drops, I do the action. It's not like somebody, I'll do it when it drops. And when it drops, they don't do anything. When it goes up,
exactly,
they don't do anything. And there's they will do something. They'll buy.
The story is always, now I missed it. I'm not going to buy because I missed the best price. Yeah. And when it goes down, now it's over.
Yeah.
You know, so it's I'm not gonna buy, I'm not gonna buy, I'm not gonna buy, I'm not gonna buy. We had this cycle going on.
Yeah.
I think in some areas of medicine they call it cognitive dissonance.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, somebody has bought it at 126,000. Somebody has, because that was
I
the
have.
all-time high.
I have.
Oh, were you the guy that bought it? You were the last person.
I was
to
the
buy-
guy.
Yeah, somebody sold it to you at 126
Yeah,
and you
sure.
bought it.
Yeah, I'm
love it.
not even bad about it.
Yeah.
Because when you're in it, you know,
You're in. Yeah, you don't think about the 126.
you
This is
don't
like-
you don't think about the asset being valued in
yeah.
dollar.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah.
And it's gonna be awful. You know, it's a thought that you're not coming into Bitcoin to stay for 2 weeks. This is not a vacation.
No,
This is a life change, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love how you said it. Yeah. So it's a journey, you know.
Yeah.
We always have. You have to have an exit strategy. But it's like early days. What are you exiting? You barely. It's like, you know, when you get to the sea and you're like, oh, it's cold, I'm going out.
Yeah.
Like you just entered. No, but once you dive in, there's, you know, enjoy it. It's just the first few minutes that it's cold and everything,
Sure.
right? But a lot of people have that, you know, they tell, oh, it's cold, I'm going.
Not doing it.
I dipped into Bitcoin. It's
Yeah.
not my cup of tea. Yeah, but it's not a 1 week thing, is it?
Well,
So
I would argue it's everyone's cup of tea
100%.
because it's about freedom.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, many things. You know, listen, we have 10 episodes. We're like, there's so much to talk
Yeah.
about.
There's gonna be more.
Yeah. I want to end it on a high note, exciting stuff.
Okay.
You know, mining. I always say, and for another episode, we'll talk about it. That mining is always more profitable than buying.
Yeah.
That's why it exists. I don't need to go into detail now. We'll do it in the next episodes. But that's why it exists. Otherwise, mining will not exist. It exists because it's more, you know, profitable. And you know, there's other metrics. If you get cheap electricity, cheaper machines, this, that. They're all metrics that will make it more profitable, up to whatever percent, right? Generally, that's why it exists. But now let's, you know more about the core mining.
Yeah.
On Miningrace, right? So we have to plug in that topic.
Sure.
I think you're the best to explain it. This is not the physical, you know, actual core, but it's a representation of 1 terahash of mining.
Yeah. The mining core, you know, it has been something special for me as well because, you know, of course, a product that is Bitcoin mining power, calculation power, it needs to be packed in some kind of way. Because, you know, renting Bitcoin mining power is a virtual thing.
Yeah. I'm just Bitcoining and chilling, as you're saying.
Yeah. But, you know, the core is such a perfect, you know, picture of something that is small and handleable, and at the same time, you know,
an entry point as well.
An entry point, real Bitcoin mining for me. And the core, when it was released first, I couldn't really believe it because being in Miningrace with the stable mining card product, I was already very happy because now I could get into Bitcoin mining with not bringing $10,000, you know, entering the market with, you know, $400 or something. And then when the core was released and I could enter, you know, for a 2-digit amount of money and now getting my hands onto 1 terahash of real Bitcoin mining for just $20, that was something that was incredible for me.
Don't you think this brings adoption? Like, if somebody was like, no Bitcoin, no mining, you literally just like, how much is it to start? Literally just to dabble with Bitcoin, like I said.
I even think it makes a huge difference to adoption. Because the whole thought with Miningrace is such a big one that we're not just talking about profits. We're talking about supporting the most important asset in the world at its root, the decentralization at the creation point of it. And when bringing cores to the world, that means we're bringing Bitcoin in more different pockets of the world.
You contribute to the network, yes.
And even if we do a difference in the world of 1%, which we already do, right? We're already doing more than that. But even if we do a difference of 1% in the world of that, it is huge. People maybe don't feel like 1% is huge because they think in percentages as something like, you know, how much I get discount. 1%, okay, that's not a lot. But think about 1% of the largest stakeholding company in the world. That is a lot. So 1% of Bitcoin is a lot.
It is, and it's almost 2%, to be honest.
Exactly, and now we're looking at almost 2%
we are at 2, roughly,
of what we're contributing to Bitcoin mining. And I think the mining core can be the thing that brings this number up a lot because it now gives people an entry point at a very, very, very low price.
All right. So give me that. Now,
Yeah.
how do I get in? Like, so what is step one? For
Yeah.
the people who are not within the Miningrace community, you know?
Yeah. So I do this on a daily basis
You get on the app.
because I meet people that
Yeah.
are not into Miningrace and I tell them about it and they say, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
How can I get that? I tell, man, you download the app. You've done this 100 times.
Yeah.
You know how to download the app. It's called the Miningrace.
Yeah.
It's even a simple name.
Yeah.
So they download the app,
Paraphrase.
create their account, which is also very easy. You've done it 100 times before. The only thing that is different is writing down a seed phrase, which is your security.
Your 12 paraphrases. Or
That's a very important point. I get it across as much as I can.
Yeah.
So right now I'm going to tell it to you too. When you write down your seed phrase, please write it down. Please do not do a screenshot of it. Please don't save it in a digital way.
Yeah.
Do not write it in your WhatsApp or something. Write it down.
Yeah.
And then you created your account. You're in it.
But what do they do after they write it down? They need to store it somewhere safe. Don't share it with anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And if someone asks for your seed phrase, he's a fraud. You know?
Scammer.
Nobody who really wants to support you or anything will ever ask about your seed phrase. That's very important. That will be your access to your funds for all the time in the future.
Yeah.
Keep your seed phrase secure. But then that was pretty easy. You downloaded the app, you created an account, and you wrote down your seed phrase. Now you're in the Miningrace app with your own account. We have a shop in there. Very easy to find. You're going to find the product. We have the licenses in there, the spot licenses, and it's starting with just as little as $40. You know, you can get yourself a race license with $40. And now you have a license, which is a subscription for the Miningrace platform.
For 1 year.
For 1 year, which is a lot of time.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
you get...
And now you already get one mining core for free.
1 terahash.
So please don't understand that wrong. We're not going to send this core home to you.
Nope.
Even better, you got your core that is 1 terahash of real Bitcoin mining power that is in this moment directly activated for you. So it's starting right in this moment in your app. And from now on, you're going to have 1 terahash that is mining Bitcoin for you every single day. Even better, you will get the results of that every single day. That is, first of all, that is already magic.
Okay. So how much is, so you said 44, and then, so if you want to add cores, you could add, right? Add more cores, so, more 1 terahashes, basically.
So this is where it gets a lot better, right? So you get into it by getting yourself the license, which is only $40.
Yeah.
So now you want another core to have more Bitcoin mining power. You get that for just $20.
Okay.
And now maybe you want to use some of the advanced mechanisms we have in Miningrace, and this is where it gets a lot better.
Yeah.
Because the mining core is not only 1 terahash of Bitcoin mining that is happening for you for 1 year for every day, but it is also something that has a mechanism called auto buy. This is very revolutionary because now you say, I want to get my hands on Bitcoin. This is why you want to do Bitcoin mining. So what is even better to get than get Bitcoin is getting Bitcoin mining power. So with the auto buy feature, we have something that is observing your Bitcoin mining earnings from the cores. You know, you have these cores in your app. And now every time your cores altogether have reached a certain threshold of money earnings they made out of Bitcoin mining, the system is buying additional core for you automatically. If you switch auto buy on, this is going to happen automatically. And now to the very crazy point, if you buy your new cores through the auto buy process, it's going to be $16. That is the thing I love the most, because that is rewarding long vision thinking.
Yeah. And
that is something everybody should have in Bitcoin. So it's already educating you on a long-term vision, while basically bringing you better results by giving you better prices. You know, that's a combination package.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not even finished there.
No, there's more.
There is more.
There is more.
Wait, there's more. You know, and that's probably something a lot of people love about these cores as well.
Yeah.
The company puts something on top. You know, there's Bitcoin mining. We get that. There's 1 terahash per core Bitcoin mining happening for me for 1 year every day. The earnings, we get that. there's another layer to it, and it's the power racing. That means we have a system which is called the block race, that is synced with the Bitcoin blockchain itself. Our system reads the Bitcoin blockchain, every single block that's happening, and with every single block that's happening, we are choosing one number of a core in our Miningrace system, and this core owner gets an additional core on top.
Yeah.
So
this
just
is fully random and using
yeah.
The Bitcoin randomness. I mean, the blockchain randomness. Sorry, because blockchain is random. It has a hash number, and they're random numbers. So it uses the randomness of the blockchain to select one of the cores that qualify for what?
For getting another core.
For another core, so you get an additional core.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is like I feel like for Bitcoin people, for IT heads, that is maybe the most beautiful thing about that.
It's very geeky, which I like.
Oh,
There's a lot of technology
it's just
involved.
Beautiful. It's not only the best random number generator in the world.
Yeah.
It's the best RNG, the best randomizer in the world, the Bitcoin blockchain, because nobody can predict the next block. And when the block is mined, it has a hash. And from that hash, we're gonna extract our winning number. So that is something I personally love, because it's the best randomizer.
Innovation.
But it also connects the system in such a smart way.
It's like, how do you utilize the blockchain for other things?
Yes.
Right?
It's not only the most efficient way to do it, but also the coolest.
Coolest way, yeah.
Yeah, that's
geek power.
Incredibly cool. Yeah. So now let's get together what just happened. So you got yourself a mining course, right? And they're mining Bitcoin for you every day. You get the rewards, and as soon as you have enough rewards and you want to auto buy, it buys another core for you for a cheaper price than you can manually buy the course. Okay. Now you got more cores. All these cores are participating in the block race. Every one of your cores has the chance to win another core every 10 minutes. So I can increase my power with the auto buy. I can increase my power with being the winner of the block race, which is happening every 10 minutes. And now there's another thing happening. Yeah. We get the sprint race on top of that. Yeah. So every new core is participating one time in the sprint race. Okay. That means
the newly joined core for the week, you mean? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So if I get a new core today, this core is participating in the sprint race. And the sprint race is like the block race, but it's not happening every 10 minutes. Yeah. It's happening once a week. But the reward inside of the sprint race is a lot more cores than just one core, depending on the participant number. But, that's another way for you to increase your Bitcoin mining power.
So it's like it's racing on another track, a weekly track thing. And then there's a 1 year track, right? Yeah, so imagine a track that runs for 1 year, because I assume the cores run for a whole year, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So they're for a whole year, and every 10 minutes, there's a winner in that, let's say a track, that racing track. And he gets to win. The winner gets another free core, which is more mining power.
Yeah.
For free, because they want to.
Now he has another core that is mining Bitcoin for him, that is participating in the sprint race and also in the block race. Yeah. Which could mean he gets another core, which is.
And then he's in the weekly race thing.
I love how this.
What does he get for the weekly race?
For the weekly race, it's dynamic. Yeah. So for every 20 cores that are participating in the sprint race, there will be one core as a winning amount. So,
okay. So it doesn't have to be your 20. It could be whoever. No. 1 from me, 5 from you, whatever.
Just globally, if there's 10,000 cores participating in the sprint race, which also is a very realistic number, then the winning amount, of course, will be 500 cores, right? So that is huge. We can observe that on the website as well. Yeah. You can see on miningrace.com, you can observe in the dashboard. We have it all fully transparent there, the block race, the sprint race. You should take a look at that.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to end it today for the first episode, the pilot episode. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to bring on some guests, people within the domain, within the space, and we're going to chat crypto. But most importantly, we need to chill as well.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, guys. Much love.
Bye.
Bitcoin to the moon.